What's up, everybody? I'm Metal Nick.
I'm Jeff Grindstoffer.
And welcome to episode number 44 of Vinyl Bang, where today we welcome special guest you may know from such bands as the Red Chord, Beyond the Sixth Seal, Sexless Marriage, Umbra Vitae, Wormwood, and Labor Hex, Mr. Gregory Weeks, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Greg. Yeah.
Applause. I love that. Special.
Greg, most people should know from the bass player of the band, the Red Chord. What a longtime friend of mine, probably one of the most hilarious human beings I've ever met in my life. When I talked to Guy and Gunface about doing this show, they both were like, you should do Greg. Greg's got an enormous record collection. And I remember bringing this up to you in Chicago and just seeing the look on your face. So, like, we're happy to have you on, bud.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I had a bit of I had a huge list of stuff I want to do, cut it down, and then as I was scrambling, got rid of an entire section. What I would like to do is break this up into, I think I have 3 groups, maybe 4 groups, and I'll have you guys choose what we start with. I feel like you've had Mike on and you had Albert on, so I'm probably going to do Zero Metal. They're the masters. They've covered it. We don't need to get into that. I probably own all the stuff that you think I own in that genre anyway. So, and if I don't, then I'm a poser. So that's okay too.
Yeah, we don't need to get into that on the
Yeah, and that secret's safe with me that I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Right. But I thought I'd kind of dive into some of the weirder stuff that I like to get into. But I'll give you some subjects and you can tell me what you want to start with. We've got, get ready for this. That's So Random. How low can you go? Let's Get Weird. And Simply the Best. Those are your options.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and say Simply the Best we're going to do last, because best for last. Let's Get Weird. That's my vote.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Start off with weird.
Okay, this is probably the biggest pile I got. So let's get weird, guys. I'm going to go grab some stuff. Oh, boy. This is a big hunk of records. All right. Again, this is probably the biggest pile, so if you bear with me on this. And there's so many more I wanted to do, but we don't have, even though daylight savings just happened, we don't have that many more hours in the day to do this. But I'll begin with a band from probably one of my favorite jazz guitar players, Sonny Sharrock. This band is called Last Exit, and this is their record, Last Exit. Bill Laswell is also on it. It is, for lack of a better term, a free jazz record. It's unbelievable. These guys are out of control. There's some groove. It's very manic. It's a record that if you want people out of your house, you put that on. So
right on.
There are some, that record and Sonny Sharrock's Black Woman will probably clear a room that don't appreciate that type of music. So if you've got guests over and they're a little stuffy, throw those 2 records on and they're gone. They got something to do. This next artist is someone that my friend Chris DeAngelis got into. Also, you ever watch these shows where they talk about records and no one ever mentions that their friends or family got them into that band because they want to sound like they discovered every band on their own? I say, F that. That's right. That's hogwash. I'm going to tell you people you don't even know, like my friend Chris DeAngelis, who you should know. He's a great musician, great guy. He got me into this guy, Julius Eastman. Do you like all the glare I'm getting? This is awesome.
That's a pretty common thing on the show, man. That happens. Happens with the best of us.
This is his record, Feminine, and it's unbelievable. He was an incredible artist. He will do pieces for like 8 cellos at a time, 4 pianos at a time. He's a minimalist composer. He had I'd say near the end of his life was fairly tragic. Look him up. I think we only really know about him because as they were clearing out his apartment after he passed away, people found some of his manuscripts and realized who he was and kind of reverse engineered some of his music. And now people are playing it again. He's a fascinating study. I'll say that. Julius Eastman. Check him out.
Okay.
Let me know if I'm ripping through this or if you have any questions.
No, you're good. We like this. This is good.
This next one is a ton of fun. I'm very jealous of my roommate. She got to see this band. They did one tour ever. Their first show was in Cambridge, Massachusetts, downstairs Middle East. And it is Ryan Gosling's band, Dead Man's Bones. You may say, that pretty boy Canadian that can only do a New York accent whenever he's doing an American one. Yeah, that's the actor I'm talking about. That guy.
Oh, wow.
And the reason there are so many kids on the cover of this is because it's him and his friend, and they got a children's choir to do all the songs with them. They're friggin' great. This dude, I think, is like a weirdo in real life. And it's what he did was every city they went to, they got a children's choir from that area. And so the stage was set up, as my roommate, who's also my wife, told me, there was like a white sheet, and sometimes some of the kids would be singing behind them, so it was just their silhouettes. And she also loves this dude. And I was on the road, that's why I couldn't see it. I would have loved to see this. And so I called her after she saw him, and I was like, "So what's up with this guy? Is he a total asshole?" "I bet he's an asshole." She's like, "No, he was incredible. He waited and talked to every single person there." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Was he a short guy? He's probably like a short little guy. She's like, no, he's 6 feet tall. I was like, "Oh, this guy's got it all, man." What a piece of crap.
Right.
But no,
What
was that? Sorry.
What kind of music is it?
It's kind of, you could call it kind of a mellow rock record, but it's kind of spooky. It's perfect for Halloween. They've got songs about zombies and stuff, and my body's a zombie for you is a great song. Papa Power is a great song. Cat Power actually covered that one. But it just seemed like he and his buddy wanted to have a really good time and make this spooky record. It reminds me a lot of the Langley School's music project, which I should have here in my pile, but making a segue, and that I don't actually have it's downstairs, but the vinyl, let's pretend I'm holding it. It's just a bunch of kids on it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right? The cover's amazing. This kid's my favorite, but that is a record that was released, or I should say re-released, because I only made, I don't even know how many copies. It was a middle school or a grade school in Canada that the music teacher decided to do hits of the time. So it was late 60s, I think early 70s. So they'd be doing Bowie and Beach Boys and stuff. But it was like the instruments aren't really in tune. The kids are playing the instruments as well, but it's a kids choir, and it's the most beautiful thing you've ever heard. I really feel that the song Desperado was made for this one girl. She might be like 10 years old to sing it. It's her and this auto-tuned piano, and it's crushing. It'll make you want to drive into a Jersey barrier and fly out of your car if you can't express emotion like me. That's what it makes you want to do. But it's a fantastic.
That's a good analogy.
Fantastic record if you can find it. All right.
Very cool. Very cool. And definitely weird.
Yeah. We're in the weird category. I forgot.
Yeah.
So this goes on. I had to scratch soundtracks. I had about 20 soundtracks I wanted to talk about. I have a good amount now of my collection is soundtracks, and we could do a whole episode on just that. But I have a lot of those because I found that so much like probably a lot of people you talk with, I have tinnitus, and it sucks. And I asked my audiologist once, who also has it, I said, "I know there's no cure or anything, but do you have any suggestions?" And she said the most haunting thing, which was avoid silence. And I was like, "Oh, that's gross." So I constantly have soundtracks playing on my record player. That's why I have a ton of them. But this isn't a soundtrack, but it is something of the like. It's kind of soundscapey. This is, what year did this come out? 87? Yeah, 1987. Shiho Yabuki's crazy fun, kind of dreamy synth record called The Body is a Message of the Universe. It's sick. And this is a re-release. I'm not really, too keen on getting original copies. As long as it sounds good, I'm pumped. She Means Business. I don't know if you can see that. Hell yeah. We got the computer, the keyboards. So if you want to get lost in a world of dreamy synthesizers with Miss Yabuki, then jump on that train. You guys loving this? Is this
Yeah, this is keep
this
going,
fun yet? Like, usually people bring on stuff that's good. All right, check this out. You're gonna love this. I have to remember the title of this record is very, very interesting. This is Crispin Hellion Glover, aka Crispin Glover. You know him from Back to the Future, one of the Friday 13th movies. He does a weird dance and gets killed.
He does. Yeah, absolutely.
So the name of the record is, I want to say, this is it. The big problem doesn't equal the solution. The solution equals let it be. So he's a maniac, and this whole record is insane. At one point back in the day, there was a phone number you could call and ask him questions or something, and it was him and 2 studio musicians, I believe. And it's crazy. It's a crazy record. It's super fun. It's better than The Return of Bruno by Bruce Willis. I'm trying to think of other celebrity records. This one is, because I think he's serious. This guy's he's serious business. There's a song about a clown. He keeps saying clown, clowny, clown on it. It's an insane record. And if you haven't heard it, please do. Please go listen.
Quick little nugget about that scene in Friday the 13th. There's a guy called the Angry Video Game Nerd who looks a little bit like Guy Coswick, and he used to do these hilarious video game reviews, but he also is like a big horror film buff. And he went to some movie convention once, or horror convention, and he met Crispin Glover and asked him about that scene where he was dancing in Friday the 13th. And he told him he was actually dancing to Back in Black by AC/DC. And then they just dubbed whatever on top of it.
That makes it even weirder.
Yeah.
That dance is insane.
Yeah, it really was. It really is.
So someone needs to dub Back in Black over that scene now.
Yeah, he actually does. I'll find a link to that and send it to you sometime.
Please do.
Because it's hilarious. But yeah, I'll let you move on with that. That was a little thing I learned about.
Crispin Glover, man. The guy's incredible. Okay, this next artist, her name is Alessandra Navaga, and her record, Movimenti Lunari. She is a guitar player. Whee! And this record came out on Bloom Records, an Italian label that does some Julius Eastman stuff. They do a lot of minimalist composer stuff, which is really good. Some of that stuff, though, drives me nuts because it's okay. All music is art. Let's start with art. You could throw a rock against a wall and press it on vinyl, and it's technically music. I feel that a lot of their stuff are musicians who are trying to go beyond what we think music is, and some of their stuff are artists making music, which is okay. It's still music, but they think of a fun idea like throwing a guitar out a window and recording it and calling it music, which again, it is. But this young lady plays guitar in a very unique way, sort of soundscapey, sort of wild sounding stuff. Again, I put this on to escape the sound demons in my head, so it works out great. But Bloom Records from Italy, check it out if you like that kind of minimalist, weird kind of stuff. They're great. And all their stuff, they have a solid color, and then the vinyl is that color. So depending on what artist you get, the layout is pretty cool, pretty unique.
Nice.
Okay. Ooh, this is a fun one. Speaking of soundtracks, this is a guy named Pilot Priest. This glare is insane. I love it. So this is a dude that decided to take some of his favorite movies from the 80s and do his own soundtrack over. So there are songs like Body Double, Silver Bullet, Streets of Fire. He kind of just took his favorite movies from the 80s, put them on mute, and did his own soundtrack to it. And it's very 80s synth heavy and really nice and lush. And it's a three LP. I listen to this one a lot. It's great. Pilot Priest.
Pilot Priest. You said
Nice.
synth heavy?
Yeah, very synth heavy. It's great.
Cool. I like stuff like that. It's not so bad, especially when it's like 80s. It's when it's I guess a tribute to the 80s. I don't want to call it a ripoff. A tribute to 80s stuff. That's always very intriguing, especially bands that are trying to do that sound today. I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too. And I feel like we have the technology to record it has come a little further so that you get maybe what they were going for in the 80s anyways. Then again, all that stuff sounds great back then too. So
no, you're absolutely right, but you're right on both counts, because oh my God, technology today, they make shit sound a million times better. You're right.
It's crazy. But you're right, like bands like Gunship who are doing that kind of synthwave thing that sounds very but they're really sticking true to that, and that stuff's awesome. Really great, really poppy stuff with these lush. Are we boring, Jeff, or is he just frozen on the phone?
I think he's no. He's having computer issues, so he's frozen.
Okay, I thought I was ordering a pizza. Just kidding, Jeff. I'm kidding you.
I think he's texting me that he's having technical difficulties.
Jeff, I'm kidding you. We love you, buddy. We love you. Now that he's gone, we'll get into the real stuff. Okay, ready for this?
Yeah.
This is a band called Coco Rosie, and I may get the story wrong, but I feel like, or the story they concocted, it could be very real. They're sisters that were separated at a young age, and one lived in New York, one lived in Paris, and then they came together and realized that they were sisters. I don't know what the hell's going on. I just know that this is a super weird record, and I love it. The name of the record is The Adventures of Ghost Horse and Stillborn. And it's a song, songs like Japan and Werewolf. There's so many great tunes on this, but it's definitely weird. They both have unique, bizarre voices. And it's worth a check out. It's definitely a weird record. Good stuff.
That's interesting.
I love it. Oh my God.
Coco Rosie is what it was called.
Coco Rosie. Yep. That's the name of the band.
Uh-huh.
All right. We'll do this last one for the weird pile, and then we'll move on. I'm spending too much time getting weird. This is a band that my good friend Mike Morowitz, who sings for Sexless Marriage and now Wormwood, turned me on to. He's a guy you should have on. He is, he's obsessed with 70s rock and roll that no one's heard of. His collection's insane.
Yeah.
He's a guy you might want to reach out to.
Sure.
This one's fantastic. It's called Dog Police. And I don't know if you've ever heard the song Dog Police. No. And what I think they're talking about is the dog, if you go on a blind date and the dog police show up, means that the woman is unattractive. So a terrible song. It's just awful. The message is so bad, but
oh boy.
The song's so good. I want to say it came out in, I think, late 80s, maybe. 82. But this is another thing. I think it was 3 studio musicians that while they were working on whatever project, there was time at the end of the day, they would get together and just write these insane, ridiculous songs. They're very of the time. Are You Middle Class Enough is a really good one. I'm Butch is wild. But it is really funny that they're studio musicians, so everything on it just sounds great. They're great players.
It sounds very Stormtroopers of Deathish, because that's how that band came about.
It is. You know what? They were developed the same way. That's totally right. But yeah, Dog Police. It's killer. It's killer. All right, I
Oh,
know
yeah.
Jeff's not here, but
He just texted me. He said he's dealing with a storm, so his internet's cutting in and out, but he'll get on when he can. So yeah, keep rolling, man. We're still recording.
all right, those are my weirds, and now we can jump into That's So Random. How low
Okay.
can you go? And we're saving simply the best for last. So,
Let's go. That's so random.
all right, let's go. That's So Random. What? Oh, okay. So this is what I did for That's So Random. What a rapscallion I am. I went to my Discogs and I had to choose 5 records just randomly. You know how you can do that? You can like shake your phone and it pops up.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. Me and Jeff actually did an episode where we each chose like 5 or 6 records out of each other's Discogs and had to explain why we had these in our collection. So that's cool that you did that too.
That's great. Yeah, so here we go. That's so random. I'm gonna get my random pile.
Hold on, he's back with us.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're good. He just told me about he's about to do That So Random, and he went on to his Discogs and randomly chose 5 records. So I told him
Oh
about
shit!
I told him about the episode we did like that. So
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so Discogs chose for me to try to discuss my way out of. Ryan Gosling, I can't escape this frigging guy. The Drive soundtrack by Cliff Martinez.
Okay. Yeah.
Great movie, weird movie. Cliff has done most of Nicholas Winding Refn's movies. This one is fantastic. He did the score, but there's also songs from a lot of great kind of synth artists. I feel like I'm going synth heavy this.
No, that's
Nothing
great.
wrong with that.
Have you ever heard of the band Arcadia?
No, I have not.
It's Bron Daler from Mastodon and 2 other guys playing synth. And it's just Bron on drums doing vocals, and then these instead of guitars and bass, it's just synthesizers.
That sounds awesome.
Came out in like 2017, I want to say, on Relapse. Yeah, check it out. If you're like,
All right, I will.
That's a very unique and very, very cool project, actually. It's a little proggy.
Hey, I get down with proggy, bro. I'm a proggy, bro. Speaking of Arcadia, I was just in Portland, Maine earlier this week, and they have an arcade called Arcadia because Acadia National Park is in Maine. So they called it Arcadia because it has arcade games. It's a thinker. It's a thinker. But I will say this. The pinball is cheap, and I spent $20, and my wife and I were there for over 2 hours. It's incredible.
Huh.
So go there. That's what I'm saying. Oh, here's a random one. This is a band called Team Dresch. I was very lucky enough to see them. They kind of got back together right before the pandemic, and I think this came out around the same time. They're a punk rock band, and they have probably one of my favorite drummers of all time, Melissa. I've always wanted to be in a band with them, and hopefully Melissa's watching and I can be. But yeah, it's great. If you like you know, early 90s female punk rock, I'd go for it.
Okay.
And if you don't, get bent, bro. Okay, here we go. This is Discogs wanted me to let you know that I really like Mr.Bungle's Disco Volante.
Good job, Discogs. You done good.
Yeah, probably my favorite Bungle record. California's obviously up there, but this is great. I know there's a new band pretending to be Mr. Bungle playing covers that have some of the members in it, but you guys like that? That was crazy? I just said that. This version, I'm trying to be as nuts
Mike Pat will never do our show now.
Yeah, I won't back down from that comment either. This is the original pressing. I'm going to be that guy. So it comes with a 7-inch that I want to say they were Warner Brothers made them do a 7-inch to go along, and they didn't want to. And so it's basically a Secret Chiefs song and it's called Prelude the Fugue with WB Major.
Mhm.
And the second part of that is called Label Influence. So I know what they're getting at. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That was a not so subtle dig at Warner Brothers, if you ask me. Yikes. So those guys are crazy, but yeah, I do love this record. This record's the best.
Agreed. Yeah, my favorite Bungle album fluctuates, just depending on what day of the week it is. You know, California's great, self-titled's great. Yeah, love Bungle.
Yeah, they're all
Huge fan.
great. Do you like the cover band, the new one that they're doing?
I have seen, yes, numerous times. I'm a fan of the old school stuff, the stuff pre the self-titled album is what that is, and it's pretty rad. We'll talk about this after the show.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah, I'm
All
a
right.
fan. I like it.
This is fun. I like this. Discogs also wanted me to let you know that I'm obsessed with this record. Jeff Buckley's Grace. This is a guy, I don't know if you know a lot about him, but he passed away. He drowned in the Mississippi River. After releasing this record, he had a very promising career. He's very young. Everybody covers the song Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen, and this guy comes close to making it perfect where not a lot of other people could. Incredible guitar player, great songwriting, great band, insane voice. He's one of those guys that you hate because he can sing as well as he can play. I had a chance to see him. When did this come out? I only saw him once before he drowned, 94. Yeah, I think I saw him 95 was right after that came out. And I didn't even know really what I was watching. This guy was incredible. So if you've never heard that record, Jeff Buckley's Grace, I say check it out.
Right on.
And again, no metal. There's no metal in this. So if I'm a poser, dude, then I'm a poser, bro. Come at me. All right, we got How Low Can You Go? And oh, you know what? Let's throw this in just for fun. I did a thing. I started this. I thought I had one of this guy's records, but I don't. I'm going to do a little section called My Favorite Album Titles.
Okay.
I love this record titles. You're Living All Over Me by Dino Jr. Boston's own Dino Jr. You're Living All Over Me is such a weird title for a record. If you've never heard this record, Raisins is the go-to song for me. I love it. Lou Barlow, the bass player who went on to do a million other bands around here. Story is he worked at a facility it was a mental facility or something. He snuck in a tape recorder and recorded some people. I'm not saying it's great, guys. I'm not saying you should do this. But it makes it on that record Raisins, and it's a little jarring, but a heck of a lot of fun. So there's a guy named Mo Bandy. He's an old country guy, incredible singer. He has my second favorite record title. It's called Hank Williams, You Wrote My Life. I thought I had that on vinyl. I don't. So this is one of his that I also love. I just started hating cheating songs today. Look at this friggin' guy. I love Mo Bandy.
I just started hating cheating song. I thought you were talking. That's the name of the album.
That's the name of the album. Yeah.
Wow.
That's fucking hilarious. What
Dude,
a title.
It's insane. He's great. He didn't write any of the stuff that he sings, but his voice is it's just fantastic. But yeah, Hank Williams, You Wrote My Life is such a great title. But yeah, Mo Bandy, get into it. It's really good.
Okay.
Really good. It's none of this bullshit country of today. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a stand and say that I don't like modern country music. Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very crazy. We need to go ahead and just stop the episode now.
I know you guys love it. Everyone's name is like Kyle or Craig or something, and they all have tight jeans and play Telecasters. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I'm saying.
And they have hip hop artists, hip hop rap or hip hop country. That's fun. What's not to like?
Yeah.
Now, before we get too involved in the Nelly Alan Jackson shit, Dinosaur Jr. is a band that I've always wanted to get into, but I never did. I never really got into it. And the video, the song that their big song, "Feel the Pain," I believe, is like that song. It irks me. I've never been a fan of that. And I'm just like, I've never had anybody really say this is the Dinosaur Jr. album to listen to, and you're obviously a fan.
Oh yeah, I love Dino Jr.
That album is that one to start with. Like for somebody that 44 years old, grew up in the 90s, all about the 90s, but never got into Dinosaur Jr. Is that an album to start with?
I'd say go for You're Living All Over Me. And before the record you're referring to is, I believe at that point they lost Lou Barlow, and it was just two of them. And I do love those songs. I think Jay's guitar playing, I mean, his guitar playing is masterful. That guy is out of control. His action is that far off his neck, and he uses, I think, huge gauge strings. But the stuff he does is he's just a shredder.
Okay.
And if you've ever seen them, they play loud as hell. But I would try You're Living All Over Me. Yeah, give that a shot. Give that a go.
Absolutely. Can't wait. Awesome.
It is funny because I've got a friend that said that he's like, I hate Dinosaur Jr. I know so many people like him. I don't get it. And I said, well, just listen to him again. And he came back. He's like, okay, now I think they're better.
How is this possible?
So maybe it's repeated listens. I don't know. But You're Living All Over Me is a great example. And before that, yeah. And I mean, that was also the time when they really didn't like each other. They're getting fights on stage. Like there's that famous Sonic Youth video where there's a cut of Jay Mascis smashing Lou Barlow in the chest with his guitar and everything on stage. And, I think that's when Lou Barlow quit. Which I can see.
Evidence of when Lou Barlow quit.
Yeah, I think that's actual, Mike ever hit me with a guitar.
Well, that's cool. Like I said, I've never had anybody give me a guiding, try this, So yeah. I'm glad we had this talk.
Me too. I mean, his voice doesn't get better no matter when you go. So if it's his voice, you might.
No. I have nothing against his voice. It's just that song, that it's just so repetitive, and just like there was nothing that really grabbed me about that. But I've always wanted to listen to more Dinosaur Jr. So
yeah, you might dig that one then. Okay, cool. I like this. I like that we're doing this.
Me too.
Go Dino Jr., man. I love it.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. How low can you go? Ready? How low can you go?
Yes.
Woo! I'll show you how low. All right. Since I play bass in a couple bands, I thought I would go through my collection and kind of let you guys know about some of my favorite bass lines, bass players maybe. I mean, I definitely did rip off a lot of these people that we've been talking about, and plan to rip them off even more. I mean, all my thoughts, I'm a conduit, so all my thoughts, is that the word? Just come through me, and all my music just comes naturally. And I never listen to music and steal ideas. So this is a guy named Moses Sumney, and I guess he's an actor now. I don't know what the hell this guy's doing, but great musician, great voice. There's a track on this record with Thundercat, and it is shocking. The bass line is shocking. Thundercat is out of control. The guy's a maniac. He can hit you with something that, like, I could never do that. And then he will just proceed to hit one note where the chords just wrap around that one note while he just hits it over and over. And you're like, well, that's absolutely genius. This guy is out of control. So he's on this record, Moses Sumney's record. What the hell's it called? Oh, yeah. Aromanticism. The whole record's worth a listen to me. But definitely for Thundercat's tune on there. I love Thundercat.
Okay.
Oh, this is a young up-and-comer. You may never have heard of him, but his name is Stevie Wonder. Songs in the Key of Life. You've probably never heard of this record. So I lied. I'm going to show you records that maybe people may have heard of, maybe. But everyone knows what I'm going to say. You guys know what I'm going to say before I'm going to say it. Sir Duke. That bass line is one of the greatest bass lines of all time. First off, it's a song about how much he loves music. I mean, come on. It's music about music. Get the hell out of here. Stevie Wonder is worlds above everybody. I know everyone's going to say that. But Sir Duke, it's nothing new. But if you've never heard the song, listen to it. It's crazy. The bass line is insane. It's insane. At one point, he runs out of frets. Just keeps going. It's fantastic.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay.
The next bass line that I'm obsessed with, and the funny thing is, like, that one's very difficult. That bass line is very difficult. The next one is just one that I just love. I think anyone can play it, but not everyone can write it. It's a bass line on the Eddie Harris record. I need some money. We can all relate. We can all relate, Eddie. But Eddie Harris is I guess a jazz, but not really guy. I don't even know. But the track is a 12-minute track called "I Don't Want Nobody," and the bass line in it is just beautiful. And he plays electric saxophone, but he also sings through it during this song. So, yeah, if you have 12 minutes, listen to Eddie Harris. I Don't Want Nobody off the record. I Need Some Money. The whole record's great. Eddie Harris is great. Kind of a funk jazz guy, I guess. But that, I can hear that bass line now, man. That one follows me. Ooh, this is fun. You may have heard of this band. This is a record that everybody I know who loves this band hates this record, and I love this record. This is Primus's Brown album.
Yes.
Oh, I love this record. It sounds like the name of the record. It sounds like shit.
It does.
And it's awesome. The first time I heard it, I was like, why would they release this? This makes no sense. And now I'm obsessed with it. I love the way it sounds. It's crazy. And it's got Brain on it. I know Herb left a couple days ago, but Brain on this record is sick because he is a drummer that can groove, but also plays very staccato. But it's great. This record's awesome. And, you know, Les, there's no getting better than Les. Les is awesome. He's his own. He's a very unique bass player. He's a wild man.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah, a very aggressive album. A very aggressive album. Brain's playing on that is just you know, not the jazzy, intricate stuff that Herb plays. The Brown album is definitely underrated. It does not get the attention.
Yeah. If you talk to any Primus or the people that I know, I should say, they don't like it. I love it. It sounds insane.
Yeah.
The bass is great on it. This guy, I mean, these guys are wild. I love them. All right, that leaves us with Simply the Best.
Oh, wow.
In my opinion, matters, so they are simply the best. The best what, you ask? Well, I'll tell you right now with Tanya Donnelly's Love Songs for Underdogs, another New England artist. She came out in 97. Tanya Donnelly was a founding member of the Breeders.
That's what I was going to say. I was trying to think of what 90s band she was from. Like, I know the name. Damn it, what's she from?
Yep. And Throwing Muses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're incredible. Her and her cousin made that band. And also Belly. That's another band.
Yes.
Belly, yeah. I love Belly. But this is her first solo record. And it's great all around. It's super weird. She's a weirdo. But the opening track, Pretty Deep, has my favorite kick drum sound if it's played on my mother-in-law's turntable in her old living room at her old house. So if you can get into that old house, find her old turntable, this kick drum on the first track is the greatest kick drum I've ever heard of. It sounds pretty good on other systems, but that, I remember just sitting there listening to it over and over again while the family was like, can we get back to Thanksgiving? And I was like, you don't understand. This kick drum sound is incredible. You don't get it. I will not pass the gravy. This is crazy, you guys. How do you not understand this? But
turn that Tanya Donnelly shit off.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen to that kick drum. You guys crazy?
That's awesome.
I'm on to something.
Fucking great.
But yeah, Tony Donnelly. Great. She's great. It's unbelievable.
Awesome.
All her bands. I love all her bands. She's great. This next record is as great, I guess, as it is tragic. This is Purple Mountains. Incredible record by David Berman. He was in the band Silver Jews, and then he went on to do Purple Mountains. This record is great. It is a beautiful record. It's tragic. He was dealing with a lot of stuff, and about, I think, 4 weeks later, he took his own life, which is, not to bring it down, but it's just wild to me. Like, music for me is something that has, and for a lot of people I know, just completely saved us as people.
Mm-hmm.
And to have something like a burden so hard that something that you love can't save you is tragic. But he left us a lot of masterpieces, and Purple Mountains is one of the best records there is. So check it out. It's great.
Very nice.
Yeah. Ooh, I'll throw this one in there. Check this out, guys. This is Alabama Shakes, Sound and Color. And the reason why I think it's one of the best is because it's a record where I think they basically skipped a second record and went on to their third record. I'm not convinced that they had a second record, scrapped it to put this out, because I've never heard a band jump from, their first record and go, okay, they're kind of finding their sound, it's kind of fun, and then jump into something that is more experimental, more fun, and more catchy. It's a great record. I am 100% in the future, and they can sue me, but the opening track, I'm stealing it. I'm stealing the idea right out from under them. It's just vocals and vibraphone and bass, I think, but I'm taking it. So you heard it here first.
Heard it here first.
Come at me, Alabama Shakes. You can sue me because I just admitted it. I dare you to. But I need money. Eddie Harris. You know what I'm saying? You see, it all makes sense.
Damn you, Eddie Harris, and your mentality. I need money.
Yeah, we need money. And going from Brittany Howard's voice, which is unbelievable, to one of my favorite voices of all time, and I'm sure you get this a lot talking about records, but Nina Simone. I don't think there's anyone really like Nina Simone. Her voice is nuts. Her attitude was incredible. There's a great documentary about her. She moved to France because she didn't want to pay taxes. I kind of love that. This is any live recording I'd grab. Her cover of House of the Rising Sun is unbelievable on this. This doesn't have Mississippi Goddamn, but if you see a copy of her doing Mississippi Goddamn live, grab it. She has a way of playing impossible piano parts while singing effortlessly over them. And the way she sings sounds effortless. Like, not that she doesn't give a shit, but it almost sounds like she could be doing anything else. And it's crushing. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. Nina Simone, one of the greatest. Ooh, here's another greatest of all time, guys. This is my favorite Nine Inch Nails record. The Fragile, it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I showed you the front, but this is the back. Is this the front? No one knows. That's the dude. That Trent, he's so crazy, right?
He is very creative.
Is this the front? No one knows. It says it. It says the Fragile right there. I love this record a lot. The crazy thing about this record is that there are songs on it that are basically love songs. But I believe he's singing about drugs. But it's very heartfelt. When I was on the road a lot, I'd have all these lists of songs that I'd listen to when I was missing home or missing, my roommate wife. And Wearing This Together Now is one of those songs. And, it sounds triumphant. And I'm sure he was singing about heroin. And it's the funniest thing to me. Not funny, but just crazy, I swear. Mm-hmm. To me, I'm thinking, man, he must really love this person he's singing about. And he did. But it worked out. I guess the story goes he was in New Orleans, I think, making that record, and he almost died doing drugs or whatever. And he was on tour with David Bowie, and David just pulled him aside, I guess, and said something like, you don't need to do that to do this. And he said it changed, how he does things. Because David Bowie, of course, probably nearly died from drugs a million times and then decided not to do it anymore.
Right.
That ended up making, I almost put Black Star in this pile. And by that, I mean, I totally forgot I was going to until now. So David Bowie's Black Star, the last one he did, it's the greatest. Took me a couple listens, but it's friggin' awesome.
That one took me a little bit too. And funnily enough, I don't know if that's
we'll take it. We'll take it.
The Fragile, I believe, was the last album that he did on drugs. With Teeth was a clean record.
Yes, and With Teeth is incredible.
It is absolutely incredible. Huge fan of With Teeth.
Nine Inch Nails there are two bands I want to say that when we were in the van, especially back in the day, that we all agreed on. Because Mike always had his toilet death metal and would keep everyone up, and Guy would usually be on the phone, and I'd just play some random insane stuff. But Nine Inch Nails was a band we could always agree on, and Bjork. Those are the two that we all were just like, hell yeah, this is the best stuff in the world.
Okay.
Also, pretend I chose Bjork in my best pile because I didn't by accident. This is a record that my wife showed me. I completely fell in love with. I've seen this guy a couple times now. Just missed him when I did those. We were on those Pig Destroyer shows where we saw you guys. And my wife was mad because I had to give up my ticket. But Orville Peck, his first record, Pony. His other records are good. This one it sounds a little bit like you're in a Lynch movie. I get why some people might not be into him because he's kind of got a gimmick going with the "You Don't Know Who I Am," but I think it's kind of sick. And the record is just single coil through a Fender Verb amp. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful record. I'll say it's my second favorite queer Canadian country record, right behind Katie Lang's country record.
I've heard people compare his voice to Elvis.
Like a young Elvis, I could see. Not like an old Elvis, like
no.
like Danzig. Danzig's got that like old kind of fat Elvis voice.
Yes.
Kind of
Yeah.
Danzig sounds like fat Elvis, which arguably was a better voice, and Jim Morrison mixed together. It's unbelievable. I love it. But
our good friend.
Oh no, you go first. Then I'll get on.
Our good friend Shas saw Danzig do Elvis in Vegas.
What?
Yeah. Cha from Pig Destroyer.
Yeah, that's friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man,
him and his wife are huge Danzig Misfits fans.
Yeah, that's sick, dude. I mean, Danzig's great. John Christ just came through here not too long ago.
Oh, nice.
I love it. But yeah, his record's great. But yeah, Katie Lang, and I don't have that record, but her country record is the absolute best. Katie Lang is somebody. Her voice is so incredible. She has since retired and lives, I think, on a ranch in Canada with her wife somewhere, and she's retired. She's like, I'm not doing it anymore. And I got to tell you, Katie, please, for me, I never got to see it. Come on out. Come on out. Sing stuff from Ingenue. Sing everything. I don't care. I'm there for it. You guys big Katie Lang fans? I could tell.
I got nothing. You can go ahead and just swipe it back to Greg because I have no horse in this race, buddy.
I love it. I will say this: the last record she was involved in was a record called Case Lang Veers, where she contacted Nico Case and asked if she wanted to do a record, and they said yes. Nico Case also is unbelievable. I guess I can have. I've got Nico Case's box set behind me, so that counts as best of, I guess. And that's all her records, guys. Okay, it was tough for me to pick what record for this next artist who I'm obsessed with, but I just went with her latest, PJ Harvey. This record's crazy. I Inside the Old Year Dying. Just saw her here in Boston, and it was incredible. She's the best. I've seen her a bunch of times. Complete weirdo. has always been a weirdo, and I don't know, all her records are great. She also does records where I listen to it and I go, I don't like this record, and then I put it down for a month and I come back to it and I go, this is the best record I've ever heard in my life.
PJ Harvey, huh?
PJ Harvey, Pauly Jean, yeah. If you've never heard of her and you're a fan of 90s music, I will give you a list of records to start with.
I'm aware of PJ Harvey from the 90s, but I haven't heard of or listened to PJ Harvey since 1993, 94. Like I mean, whenever you said her latest, like she's done stuff since, you know, like I never followed PJ Harvey, but I am well aware of who she is.
Ooh. She got a pile of records, bro.
Wow. Okay. Cool. I would like to delve more into that.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk. We get some stuff
after the show.
Yeah, we'll hit you up. And continuing with the 90s. Oh my God, this is my last one. I can't believe it. And it's only been like an hour of me nonstop blabbing. Again, I cut about 37,000 soundtracks, but we could do a whole episode of that when I come back next week. Okay, here we go. This is one of my favorite bands. And I chose this record because it's just so fun. L7's Hungry for Stink. This, I think, when I was 14, was the first show I ever went to. It was Melvin's and L7. And there were 4 lunatic women with guitars just screaming. And it was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And that has stayed with me to this day. This has probably my favorite song called Baggage on here, but they're the best. They were lumped into the grunge group, but in my opinion, I mean, they're always wearing Ramon shirts. Ramon's one of my favorite bands. I mean, every band's my favorite band. Pixies one of my favorite bands. Every single band in the world's my favorite band. I felt like they were going more for a punk thing that just had a lot of overdrive, but they were lumped into the grunge grouping.
Yeah. L7, like, I never really got into them, but I'm very familiar with them. I was kind of lumped them together in with like Babes from Toyland, and you know the other female groups from the 90s. But that's something. I'm glad you brought them up because I wanted to check them out as well. I want to delve more into L7 30 years later. Like I do
it. I mean, they're Hungry for Stink and Bricks Are Heavy. Really are. I mean, all their records are good, but those two, especially of the time, are just fantastic.
Yeah,
they're great. They're great. I love that band.
That's awesome. I'm really glad you brought them up.
They're cool, man. Like those are the 2 records to start with, and then you can branch out in either direction. Yeah, they're always cool. They always had something to say, and I dig that. They were wild. They were kicking people out. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. Dudes were getting rough. They're like, hey, get the fuck out of here. It was sick. They're scary. They were scary women.
I remember them being nothing to fuck with. Like their videos were like, these women are badass.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I think I just ran out of records. I mean, I have a million records. Should we just do the whole collection tonight?
Yeah.
Nice.
Give us 3 more topics. Come up with 3 more topics.
Let's see what we
in the
got.
next 5 minutes. You got to marry one, fuck one, kill one.
Yeah, here we go. That's not bad. We should. Okay. Do you want all the records in the room we're in my living room downstairs, or the TV room? Because they've taken over the whole house. It's bad. It's not good. This is a cry for help. This is a big cry for help.
Yeah, there's subliminal messages in every record that he, like, in sequence, like, help me.
Please. I need money, Eddie Harris.
Even the records he forgot to showcase. Yeah. Like,
Oops.
This is that.
Oops. I was trying with the weird stuff. I wasn't trying to be, that guy's, when you bring something on that you think no one else is going to get because you're so great. You ever see when people do these types of shows, like Amoeba has one, and these bands go to Amoeba, which is a record store, and they tell you their top 5 fucking books. Like, bro, go back to art school, kid. We're here for music. You know what I'm saying? Here's a foreign film that no one's ever heard of. I've heard of it. Okay, get out of here, loser. I wasn't trying to be that guy. I was just trying to spread some joy and love.
Sure. You done good. Now during my technical difficulties earlier, I missed out on the whole Crispin Glover thing. I want to check that album out. I actually, like, Nick and I, we were in I think we were in Baltimore. We were at can't remember what record store we were at, but Travis Ryan from Cattle Decapitation is a huge Crispin Glover fan. And a few years ago, whenever that album was released on Record Store Day, he was like on the internet saying, if anybody finds a copy of this, grab it for me. And I found a copy, and I texted him. I said, hey, do you want me to grab this for you? He said, oh, I've already got that, blah, blah. But I should have taken it home just because of who Crispin Glover is and because of his just weird approach to music. And I've seen the video for that Clowny Clown.
Oh, dude.
It's so fucking weird. Like, you know, if, you know, my, and I'm sure everybody's first impression of Crispin Glover was Back to the Future, you know, where he was, you know, like he was the nerd, like he was a fucking nerdy father. And I've always been intrigued about who this guy was as a musician, you know, and whenever I saw that Clowny Clown video, I'm like, is this the same fucking guy? Like, I really wanted to check out what he's doing musically. So I'm glad you brought that up as well.
Yeah, you got to hear the song. I think it's called Auto Manipulator. It's about jerking off. The guy's out of control.
That's awesome.
It's a great record. It's a great record. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, man. I love it. I love music. Music's the best.
You have a very diverse collection for sure.
I do have like I said, I have you know, every Pixies record, Ramones. I'm a huge fan of all the Black Flag stuff, all that stuff. So I do have all that stuff in there too. But there's a special place, I think, for complete weird, crazy music. Oh, I forgot about the Shags. Okay, so the Shags, they're in my weirdo pile. They're a band from New Hampshire whose father had a dream that his daughters were going to be in a band. So he took the family money and bought them instruments and lessons, and they didn't know how to play anything. And so this is, to me, the purest form of music. I don't even know if they got lessons, actually. So it's them playing and singing songs that are all insane. They're all insane. The band is the Shags from New Hampshire, and it's great. It's to me the purest. It's 100% the purest form of music. It's like giving a child a toy and saying, "Come up with a song." And
now, is that 1 or 2 G's?
2 G's. The Shags.
Shags. Okay, that sounds fun too, dude. Like, I love shit like this. Yeah, learning new music from people that I would ever have heard of before. Shags, insane kids that were given instruments that had no musical
ability at all. Yeah, they have a song about Halloween. That's sick.
Down. Yes.
I'd also like to shout out, while we're talking about records, my favorite record store in our area is Inclusion Records in Norwell, Massachusetts. Those guys are killer. It started as a skate shop, and then they built out a record store downstairs, and they've been going strong for a long time now. Independent record store. They're awesome.
Yeah.
They're great.
We'll tag them in this video for sure.
That was always like a childhood dream of mine, was to own a record store and a skate shop.
Dang, dude. Yeah. Come on, visit. You get the blueprints right here down the street.
Fuck yeah, man.
My guys will hook you up. Oh, man. What do you guys got going? What are you doing today? How was your day?
Today was good. Today was interesting. I worked and came home and dog sat, and my daughter got engaged over the weekend. So there's that. And
congratulations.
I love it. I love love. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
It's the best. It's the best thing in the world. Good Lord.
Yeah. All right. Well, this would be a good part to end our episode.
Greg, this was fun, man. This was so much fun. Thank you for agreeing to do this. Personally, like, I know you and I have never really crossed paths over the years. I mean, I've seen the Red Chord a couple of times, but getting to hang out with you a couple weekends ago in Chicago and Detroit was a an honor and a pleasure. And thank you for signing my framed poster. I know I was being probably a pain in the ass to everybody, like, sign this, sign this, sign this. It was great hanging out with you, and thank you for agreeing to do the show. This was a lot of fucking fun, Greg. This was,
of course, you're never a pain in the ass. That was a ton of fun. And by the way, Pig Destroyer is the best band in the world, right? Holy Jesus!
yes,
Absolutely.
yes, they are.
God damn! Like, as people and as a band, they are crushing. I love those guys. That's probably the most fun we've had since 2011. Like, doing those 3 shows. Those guys are the best. See you next Tuesday. Unbelievable. And it was great to hang out with you guys, man. And thanks for having me on. This is a dream come true for me, because I talk to anybody, people on the street, about music, and they want me to go away. And now I get to share my collection. It's good.
You have to listen to me. I'm on the internet now.
Yeah.
No, we'll definitely do a future episode with you. Maybe we'll do one where all 3 of us get involved and we'll share records together. But we'll actually come up with we'll let you create the topics for that one, and we'll all 3 get in on it, and that'll be a little funner.
I would love that. I would love that. Let me know when I'm ready.
Yeah, because I want to have the follow-up topics for Dinosaur Jr. and Tanya Donnelly and PJ Harvey, and I want to be like, all right, Greg, here's what I think.
Yes. Yeah, get in touch with me. We'll talk about all that stuff. But I would love to do this again, and maybe we can pick up some topics, and one can be records we feel like we have to defend. Boom, that's going to be a good one.
That would be a good one.
Woo!
Or we could do the random Discogs thing again, since you were unaware that we've done that before. That was a good thing. Like, it's like, he knew to do that. That's awesome.
I was trying to think of, like,
meant to be.
Instead of just rifling off stuff, which I did anyways at an alarming rate, why not break it up and have fun with it and make you guys have to talk, force you into the conversation.
This was fun, Greg. This was awesome.
Definitely. Well, thank you everybody for watching this week. Thank you to our guest Greg, and we will see you all next week.
See you guys.